example, when you have a large set of data, large set of documents. Okay, if you need to analyze the documents in, I don't know, e-discovery process or litigation process or contract reviewing or due diligence in merger and acquisition, this large set of data requires analysis. And this is where artificial intelligence software, let me put it this way, a software, a program that is designed with software engineers is to facilitate the analysis of this large set of data and help into accelerating the decision. Okay? And while taking these decisions, this artificial intelligence, that's why it's called intelligence, is to learn back, okay, to enhance and to improve the decision that you make, right?
السؤال اللي بعده، هل يمكن السيطرة على AI؟ يعني السوفت وير كما نعلم تتفضل الاي اي هو نوع من السوفت وير، برنامج يعني يكون في لوجيك معين يساعدك على اتخاذ القرار او على التحليل. في البرامج العاديه يمكن السيطره عليها ولا كنترول، تمام، لكن في الاي اي هل يمكن السيطره ولا ما يمكن السيطره؟
I would say it's not a problem of control only, it's a problem of the control of the data. The big challenge today of the countries, the regulations, when you have the legal contract on one side, the commercial part on another side, and the compliance from the third side, and how to find inconsistency in contracts, how to identify risks, okay, how to measure the clauses versus the compliance rules, and all of this today human can do it, but today you have artificial intelligence or tools or software, okay, they can do it much faster. Okay, and this is the ultimate win.
My question to Mr. Yuri, as an expert in arbitration, I read your CV, you have got experience in this field in Europe, Eastern Europe also. My question, how can you use artificial intelligence in the field of arbitration?
Thank you very much. Thank you also to the conference organizers, LexisNexis, is a brilliant event. Candy itself, thank you for mentioning we're a disputes-only firm. Now that I've mentioned that, I can claim some expenses, so I can go forward and actually answer the question. We already use AI at Candy in disclosure exercises. IT itself created a revolution where there's been so much more data. English law, that's what I practice in. Historically, the position has been you need to disclose all the documentation and information that you have that is for your case and against your case. In the 19th and 20th century, up until computers, that was maybe one letter a week. But then you got email, then you get 50 emails a day. Then you have WhatsApp. And so you have this explosion of data, which caused an explosion in costs. We're using e-discovery tools, which is kind of that first level of AI, which is a learning program that learns how you review and analyze documents to cut down that huge trough of email and disclosure from the stakeholders, where you have terabytes of data and you're looking for a needle in a haystack. And that's how AI is already being used. I would just say a word of caution about AI, because I'm in disputes. It all comes down to negligence. And if you are over-reliant on AI, and therefore are doing something that's negligent because you haven't had human oversight, and that's a huge red flag that's going to slow things down, and probably slow things down properly. We don't want just speed, we want speed and accuracy. So there's something there, and I find just generally with AI, with IT, it's kind of like ordering a Korean car. It takes a lot longer than it says you think it will take. And what arrives, if you're trying to get something really special, probably isn't exactly what you expected. So, but if you just order a simple taxi on Korean, it arrives really quickly, you know what you get, and the driver knows what he's doing. So I think it's similar with kind of AI. The further out, the more, my gosh, it'll solve all the problems, the less likely that will work. But from a day-to-day perspective, you're absolutely right. If you're not using it, you're behind. You have to be completely aware of what is going on. At the end of the day, it is a tool. Like any other tool, if you rely on it too much, you'll get into trouble. And this is all about assisting people to do their actual jobs, to actually apply the legal reasoning. Because being a legal practitioner isn't really applying an algorithm. It's about knowing the exceptions and knowing that the tribunal or the court is looking to do justice. And laws are only a tool to that. The overarching issue that AI doesn't know anything. It isn't self-aware. It isn't applying principles of justice. It's applying learning and algorithms and complex mathematical formula that spits out something that really looks like an answer by someone who knows something. But someone who knows something still has to look at it. Apologies for my repetitive, non-AI linear speech.
In the future, AI could be an arbitrator.
I don't think so.
You mentioned like a machine, how many machine? I'm here with clarification for the difference.
I think that would be a terrifying universe, mainly because, again, it comes down to justice. I had an arbitration a while ago where my guys were the good guys, the other side were the bad guys, but the bad guys were quite clever, and my guys weren't as clever. And so this all depended on delivery of documents within an office in Cyprus. And if we had delivered the documents, our option notice would have been recognized, and we would have taken over the bank. Yay. But they locked the doors and refused entry and did all these sorts of things. So a computer would have said we lost. But the tribunal found that we won because it looked at the reason for the other side's actions and saw and found that they were acting in breach of their obligations. So none of that was a contractual term within the agreement, but the humans could see the impulses and motivations of the other side, where a computer applying an algorithm, I wouldn't be as confident they would do so. That's right.
Mr. Benson, what are the risks of using AI?
I think that Yuri has just highlighted the biggest risk, which for me is the increased reliance on technology, and specifically with litigation and, of course, arbitration. I think we all saw the headlines of the New York Times 2 months ago when a lawyer, I think it was in New York, the state of New York, referenced a court case in front of the judge, which was completely fictive and resulted to be a hallucination of ChatGPT. So I really think that the legal practitioners should be extremely cautious when using a large language model like ChatGPT, which simply crawls the internet and all the data available without verifying and distinguishing misinformation from correct information. Now, on the other hand, I think it's the responsibility to companies like LexisNexis, who currently detain the largest amount of legal and verified legal data, around 2.8 petabytes. Our CEO Eric highlighted this morning, 150 times bigger than Wikipedia. The only difference is that Wikipedia, we're not sure if it's true or not. And on the other side, LexisNexis only produces curated and verified information based on legislation and case law. Now, on the other hand, what we have added to that to inspire confidence to our customers and users around the world is that, for example, we have developed our responsible AI chart and policies to avoid biases and discrepancies and hallucinations within our large language models, which is a huge responsibility for us.
السؤال الآن بالنسبة للطالب من اليوم التلفزيون نشوف تلفزيون والإنترنت يوتيوب تلقى واحد يتكلم بس هو مو حقيقي، يعني يعطون صورة ما يعطونها بالاي اي ويطلع ما اللي يتكلم هو الانسان الحقيقي ولا الفيك؟ يعني الانسان يعني ممكن انا ما اعرف او ممكن حتى اي قاضي او اي ممكن يعمل صالح لكن بديهي شو يحكم؟
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، شكرا على الاستضافه شركه تكساس نكسل اخوي محامي خليفه الياباني. تقنيه الذكاء الاصطناعي قاعد تتطور بشكل مخيف، لان التحول الرقمي قاعد يتطور بهالاتجاه. الديب فيك او استخدام شخصيات مصطنعه من الذكاء الاصطناعي، في المقابل هناك تولز موجوده تو ديتكت الصوره هذه اذا كانت من الذكاء الاصطناعي او صوره حقيقيه. بالنهايه البيئه التشريعيه بشكل عام، يعني احنا اليوم نقطه مهمه ما ننساها ان الببليك بدا يتعامل مع الاي اي بشكل مباشر. اتصور صار لنا سنه شهر نوفمبر يوم سنه. So it's a very short period of time to say or to expect what will happen. But for sure, we will see cases we never imagined انها تكون موجوده. والدليل مثلا one of the first issues that Vincent mentioned, the case in the New York courts للمحامي قدم شيء باستخدام شات جي بي تي كان باني ريفرنسز على قضايا مش موجوده اصلا. فما زالت الابحاث والاوراق العلميه تبحث مدى جديه التعامل مع هالنوع من الاشكاليات اللي قاعده. بس بالتاكيد ان راح نواجه اشكاليات قانونيه، اشكاليات اجتماعيه، اشكاليات اقتصاديه ما كنا ممكن نتخيلها بيوم من الايام بحكم التطور السريع اللي قاعد يصير في التقنيات. والبيئه التشريعيه بشكل عام على مستوى العالم ما زالت خصبه، يعني مش كل الدول مقننه الذكاء الاصطناعي. We are seeing here and there some initiatives. يعني I think last week in the AI summit a new معاهده جديده دخلوا فيها دول الصين، امريكا، السعوديه وغيرها من الدول to put a framework for the responsible use of AI. So I think it's still growing aggressively every week, and I think it's still early to think even from a legal point of view how can we deal with it. But the community is building, I would say, detective products that can detect if this voice or picture is an AI produced or it's a real picture or voice.
السؤال اللي بعده هو سؤال بديهي ايضا، وهو انه لو فرضنا انه هذا الاي اي ارتكب خطا معين، يعني ترتب عليه مسؤوليه جنائيه او مدنيه، من محاسب؟ يعني اي سب ولا لعن ولا او شهر او يعني ارتكب اي جريمه او سوى اي شيء غلط، يعني تعاقد على انسان او عامل بالخطا الى اخره، على من تكون المسؤوليه في الحاله؟
بالنهايه الاي اي وسيله، والاي اي يشتغل بناء على بيانات موجوده، بناء على مدخلات. There is always a human interaction with the AI, either from the input side or العكس. اعتقد طبيعي تتحدد المسؤوليه بشكل سهل، لكن لازم تكون البنيه التشريعيه اللي تحكم عمليه الذكاء الاصطناعي، استخدامات الذكاء الاصطناعي واضحه، وهالشيء مو موجود اليوم في اغلب الدول، ما زال اندر ديفلوبمنت I would say.
يعني التشريعات اللي انت اشرت لها، هل تعترف للاي اي كشخصيه قانونيه بان تكون لها ذمه ماليه ويكون لها شخصيه قانونيه، ولا ما في تشريعات؟
هذا الاتجاه مرفوض، على الرغم من انه كان في حاله في السنوات القليله الماضيه ان كان في شخص يبي يسجل حقوق ملكيه فكريه على صوره او محتوى من الاي اي، فيبي يسجل ملكيه فكريه للاي اي. اغلب الدول رفضت تسجيله، اظن في استراليا وجنوب افريقيا they gave him يسجلوها. لكن نرجع للنقطة الأولى، الذكاء الاصطناعي والانجيجمنت مع المستخدمين. احنا اليوم بدينا نستخدم الذكاء الاصطناعي في أقل من سنة، يعني ظهر في الببليك OpenAI ChatGPT في سنة يعني almost. فما زال الطريق يعني.
لا بس يعني في مجال الملكيه الفكريه، يعني هذا مجال خاص جدا. يعني الاي اي الان ممكن يركب لك لحن موسيقي، تمام. الاي اي ممكن يخترع لك اختراع، تمام. خاصه لما نتكلم عن الاي اي جنريتيف، يعني مو ما اخذ اي انستراكشنز منه، انما هو ركب اللحن او عمل براءه اختراع. اللحن يكون ملك من يعني.
الجنريتيف اي اي يشتغل بناء على مدخلات، بناء على برومبتس، كويري اليوزر يدخلها and then it gives you back the result. فالاي اي ما راح يعطيك اللحن، او ما راح يعطيك مثلا هذا الشيء نشوفه انه مغني عربي باستخدام الاي اي يغني اغنيه مختلفه او لحن مختلف. هذا ما تم الا بناء على human factor, someone had done the influence. فالسؤال الحين في discussion كامل عن the conclusion was, do we still need the IP laws اللي بدأت في سنة 1600 or something today or not? This is could be a good question, but I think it's still challenging to.
يعني في النهايه الكوبي رايت هذا راح يكون حق اللي اخترع الجهاز او ركب الجهاز، او حق اللي حط الانستركشنز في الجهاز، او حق اللي يعني لمن تكون.
هي غالبا يعني اليوم ما في قوانين واضحه تحدد العمليه، صار في براكتس الدول ضد الاتجاه انه يتم تسجيل الملكيه الفكريه للذكاء الاصطناعي، لكن قد يكون ان في دول تم تسجيل الملكيه الفكريه لاشخاص هم اللي طلعوا بالنتائج هذه، خصوصا استخداماتهم متنوعه.
استاذ فراس، اذا ممكن بس يعني تعطينا تنبؤاتك او توقعاتك المستقبليه للاي اي، وين راح يروح؟
I think the AI will get, and I get provoked by Yuri, but I'll try to not complain, but I think AI will change everything we are doing today. And if we talk more specifically in the legal, I think AI will replace every single function we are doing today in the legal space. I'm not saying it will replace them today, because we are just a few years. I mean, if we go just 2-3 years back, we're not discussing this in any panel, right? So it will replace the majority of functions we are doing in our daily work in the legal space, whether you are litigation lawyer or corporate lawyer or arbitrator. And I think it's the first time ever I'm seeing engineers, software engineers, sitting on the same table with legal professionals, discussing the same matters. The legal profession, if you look at the universities, the top-notch universities today, legal universities, they are putting in their program the technology as a mandatory, very aggressive mandatory subjects. I would say it's a matter of years to have the regulations and the framework following the technology, because the regulation is really behind the speed of the progress of the technology. You were talking about the intellectual property, and these are topics that are open today. We heard in Europe, so the European Union banning OpenAI, especially in the regulated companies. These kind of initiatives are really following the technology, because there's a big fear, because we're human, we resist the change, and it's normal. There's a big fear from the arbitration to be replaced by AI. And my opinion, it will be replaced, right? You will have AI going the extreme in arbitration. However, there's always a need for a human Okay, so it's a different kind of work, different kind of scope of work for every single lawyer or legal professional. If you